Kian always believed he had control over himself. Not perfect control, but enough. Enough to function. Enough to look calm. Enough to convince people, and himself, that he had things figured out. But what Kian didn't realize was this: you can look calm on the outside, while chaos quietly runs your inside. It was early winter in Chicago. The kind of cold that didn't just hit your skin, it settled into your bones. Kian stood at a bus stop, hands buried in his coat pockets, staring at nothing in particular. His mind was already racing, even before the day had begun. Deadlines. Expectations. Messages left unanswered. And underneath all of that, a quiet, constant pressure he couldn't explain. A pressure to prove something. At work, everything looked normal. He greeted coworkers. Opened his laptop. Responded to emails. But then it happened. A simple sentence from his manager: "Kian, when you get a chance, I'd like to go over your recent performance." That's it. No anger. No accusation. Just words. But those words didn't land in the present. They traveled somewhere deeper. Somewhere older. In an instant, Kian's body reacted like he was under attack. His chest tightened. His breathing shifted. His mind started firing thoughts faster than he could control them. You messed up. They're disappointed. You're not enough. You're about to lose everything. And suddenly, the room didn't feel safe anymore. The conversation hadn't even started, but Kian was already defending himself. When he sat down across from his manager, he wasn't listening. He was preparing. Preparing to explain. Preparing to justify. Preparing to protect himself. Every word his manager said felt sharper than it actually was. Every pause felt like judgment. Every suggestion felt like criticism. And by the end of the meeting, Kian had mentally turned guidance into rejection. That night, his apartment felt unusually quiet. The city lights flickered through the window, but inside, it felt heavy. Kian sat on the edge of his bed, replaying the moment again and again. Same question. Different tone each time. Why do I react like this? He wasn't angry anymore. Just tired. Tired of feeling like every small moment carried so much weight. Days passed, but the pattern followed him everywhere. At a cafe, the barista got his order wrong. He felt disrespected. A friend replied late. He felt ignored. A coworker interrupted him. He felt dismissed. The situations changed. But the feeling didn't. Always came back to the same place. Not enough. Not valued. Not seen. One evening, he met his friend Marcus. They sat in a small diner, the kind where the coffee is always too hot and the conversations feel too real. Marcus watched him quietly for a while before speaking. You ever notice how you react fast, but think later? Kian smirked slightly. Everyone does that. Marcus shook his head. No. You don't just react, you personalize everything. That hit differently. Kian leaned back, crossing his arms. What's that supposed to mean? It means, Marcus said calmly, you don't react to what people say. You react to what you believe it means about you. Silence. Because deep down, Kian knew that was true. That night, something shifted. Not a big change. Just a crack. A small opening in the way he saw himself. For the first time, Kian stopped blaming the world, and started questioning his reactions. He began noticing patterns. Not just in what happened, but in how he felt. And what those feelings said. Every trigger carried a message: rejection. Failure. Disappointment. Being replaced. But where did those messages come from? They weren't always true. So why did they feel so real? The answer didn't come all at once. It came in pieces. In flashes. In memories he hadn't thought about in years. A classroom where he was told he wasn't trying hard enough. A moment at home where someone else was praised, and he wasn't. Times he stayed quiet because speaking up felt risky. Moments where he learned, without realizing it, that his worth depended on performance. Those moments didn't disappear. They stayed. Quietly shaping how he saw himself, quietly deciding how he interpreted the world. And suddenly, everything made sense. The reason a simple sentence felt like an attack, was because his mind connected it to something older. Something unresolved. Something that never fully healed. Kian wasn't overreacting. He was re-experiencing. That realization didn't make things easier. But it made things clearer. Because now, instead of asking, why are people like this? He started asking, why does this affect me like this? And that question changed everything. Lesson from Part 1, your triggers are not random, they are rooted in experiences you haven't fully processed. What hurts you today is often connected to what shaped you yesterday. When you don't understand your triggers, you don't just react, you repeat. Understanding something doesn't mean you've mastered it. Kian knew his triggers now. But knowing didn't stop them. They still showed up. Still hit hard. Still felt real. But something was different. He started seeing them as they happened. And that awareness? It gave him something he never had before. A choice. A few days later, he found himself in the same situation again. Same office. Same chair. Same manager. Kian, let's talk about your recent work. And just like before. The trigger activated. Heart racing. Mind spiraling. Body tensing. This time, Kian didn't move immediately. He paused. Not long. Just enough. And in that pause, he noticed something powerful, the feeling came first. The story came after. His mind was already trying to interpret the situation. Trying to label it. Trying to protect him. But for the first time, he questioned it. Is this actually happening, or is this familiar? That one question created space. Space between the moment, and his reaction. So instead of interrupting, defending, or shutting down, he listened. Fully. And what he heard wasn't what he expected. It wasn't rejection. It wasn't criticism. It was feedback. Helpful. Direct. Constructive. The situation hadn't changed. His perception had. That moment became a turning point. Not because everything was fixed. But because Kian realized something deeper, you don't need to eliminate your triggers. You need to understand them. From that day on, Kian practiced one simple habit. Pause. Question. Respond. When someone didn't reply, am I being ignored, or am I assuming? When someone disagreed, is this disrespect, or just a different view? When plans changed, is this rejection, or just reality? Each time, the same emotions appeared, but they didn't control him anymore. Because he didn't automatically believe them. Weeks passed. And slowly, something inside Kian began to shift. He felt lighter. Not because life got easier. But because he stopped carrying every moment like it was personal. One evening, he sat by the lake in Chicago. The wind was cold, but calm. For once, his mind was quiet. Marcus joined him again. So, what's different now? He asked. Kian thought for a moment before answering. I still feel everything, he said. But I don't react to everything. Marcus smiled. That's growth. Kian looked out at the water. And for the first time, he understood something most people never do. Your emotions are real, but they are not always true. He had spent years reacting to feelings as if they were facts. Now, he was learning to observe them instead. To understand them. To question them. And in doing so, He took back control. You don't heal by avoiding your triggers, you heal by understanding them. Every emotional reaction is an opportunity to learn something about yourself. When you pause and question your feelings, you stop living on autopilot and start living with awareness. Message to you: the next time something triggers you, don't rush to react. Pause. Notice the feeling. And ask yourself, is this about now, or is this from before? Because the moment you learn the difference, you stop repeating your past, and start rewriting your future.